It's the Pacers, and they're doing business on the road. It's an interconference NBA matchup. A time-honored tradition. The NBA on 2K Sports. Sunday night hoops action. Delighted to have all of you with us here tonight. Changes. Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Hill comes in for Lavoy Allen. And Brooks subbed in for Ellis. On the court for Indiana, Brooks in at shooting guard. Mahinmi is out there with Hill. Then it's George Hill, and it's George in at the 3 spot. Here's Brooks to the inside from 11 feet away. Another shot, and it's James Harden with the rebound.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Ariza has the open look. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. And for Trevor Ariza, almost exclusively a perimeter player on the offense last year. New scheme, Greg, new teammates, big adjustment.
Yeah, the Rockets having Dwight Howard camping out in the lane and James Harden needing space for dribble drives. Not much room to operate inside for Ariza.
But they do like his defense, and we know he can hit the 3. It's a pretty valuable commodity for them. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, I was able to catch up with the head coach for the Rockets just a moment ago. With this being their first meeting of the year, he stressed to his team to rely on their instincts on the offensive end, saying, "We do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses and not forcing anything. As long as we can continue doing that here, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if that holds true, guys."
Doris, thanks. Guys, shooting is a chief concern for them.
And if that is the focus, then their ball movement is going to have to be sharp today.
It's very rare that you see a team shoot the ball well without moving it well. And that's the hidden message when the coach talks about their shooting. You know, you talk about Trevor Ariza last season. I mean, his field goal percentage dipped to 40, mostly because he only took threes, or so it appeared. It's hard to be efficient if you're only shooting threes.
Rockets trail by 7. 1:03 left to play in the first. Everly with the ball. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Excellent D there from Hill.
And guys, when you think about Trevor Ariza, he was signed by Houston last year to play defense. And did he deliver on that end? He was usually matched up against the opponent's best wing scorer, and he had the highest steals average of his career, almost 2 a game. Add to that, he is a knockdown shooter from beyond the arc.
And George kicks to Hill. Hill sets the screen for Hill. He dishes it to Brooks. Motiejunas grabs the miss.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Now here's Harden. 9 points in the game so far. Back to Beverly. 3-pointer. Can't hit. And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to...
I think I had that all my life.
Let's take him back.
And Monte Ellis is changes. Dwight Howard's checked in for Capella. Harden comes in for Michael Beasley. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Gaudelot. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Hill comes in for Lavoy Allen. George is checked in for C.J. Miles. And Brooks subbed in for Ty Lawson. On the court for Indiana, Brooks, he's in at point guard. Hill is out there with Mahinmi. Then it's Paul George. And it's Ellis in at the shooting guard.
And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names. And taking a look now at the stats for Monte Ellis, how his last 10 games have gone. He's putting up about 12 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Motiejunas comes in for Terrence Jones. And Trevor Ariza has subbed in for Corey Brewer. The Pacers also with a sub. Hill's checked in. The dish to Brooks.
2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining.
6 to shoot. Pass to Hill. Inside. Here's Mahinmi. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. And the Pacers lead by 1.
Defense just not strong enough to throw him off his shot there. Sometimes. Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But, Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
George dishes to Brooks. Outside for George. Can't hit. The Rockets go the other way with it. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
27 seconds left to play in the first half. Mahinmi, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's on Moniunas. The Pacers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And as a team, they're down around 72% for the season.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
Oh, trying for it. It's stolen by Hill. Hill against Beverly. Hill passes to Brooks. It's deflected. Tries to save it, but they'll get another chance. This one for 3, and George Hill with the 3. Hill's got 5 points so far. And a pretty tightly contested.
Kevin, thank.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half, about 5 on the floor. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. They've got Beasley. Corey Brewer is out there with Andrew Gaudlack. Then it's Jones. And it's Capella in at the 5. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when a team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pelicans really had a hard time. He chipped in his share of points, and he was able to dish out a few helpers to teammates as well. Just a poor shooting performance from him as he never got it going, missing shot after shot. He'll look to right the ship in this one, Kevin.
Good work as always, Doris. Thank you. Well, we haven't seen too many games, guys, like that out of him before.
And you know what? I'm thinking we'll see a different guy here tonight. Hard to imagine he'd have back-to-back bad games.
Yep, forget about back-to-back bad games on an individual basis. What he really wants to avoid are back-to-back losses.
Here's Beasley. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And the second player taken in the 2008 draft, Michael Beasley out of Kansas State, has been the ultimate wild card. Incredibly high expectations for him. At one time, he was the best high school player in the country. But now, you know, Greg, in his 8th season, bounced around a little bit. You wonder if he will ever fulfill that great potential.
You know, you could argue he's the best player in college that 1 year at Kansas State. I mean, unstoppable scorer and rebounder on the collegiate level. And he's shown flashes, but that's the one thing about this level. So much of the game is mental. And not everybody's equipped to handle the responsibility of being a great player.
Excellent play. Unloads from 13 and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And thinking about Michael Beasley's career now, he did have a breakout season in 10 and 11 with the Timberwolves. It was enough to land him a 3-year, $18 million contract with the Suns a couple years ago. Arrows seem to be pointing up, but then things headed south quickly.
And for last season, it was really just a victory for Beasley to get back in the league. I mean, did not start the season on any team. No doubt he has the skills, but something needs to happen for him in order to stick.
And it's Miles missing. The Rockets trail. There's 1:17 left here in the third quarter. For the lead. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. Gaudelac's got his first points of the night. Clark, third quarter here and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Pick up by Hill. Brooks kicks to Miles. They set the pick. Just 5 to shoot. Excellent use of the screen that time. And the Pacers lead by 1.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Here's Brewer, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Houston's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Gaudelac. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. In the corner, it's Brewer. Here's Gaudelac. And it's Houston with another. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game. I mean, guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the...
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. So for the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and Terrence Jones is subbed in for Trevor Ariza. The Pacers also changing it up. Hill comes in for Turner, and Brooks subbed in for Hill. On the court for Indiana, Brooks is in at the point. Paul George is out there with Allen. Then it's Ellis, and it's Hill in at the center position. And here are the Rockets. Here's Harden. Another miss by Houston. Last outing for Indiana. They won that game against the Pelicans in New Orleans. Brooks outside. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the middle. Here's Allen. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
What an opportunity here.
Boy, a chance to take the lead. Huge right here.
Harden against Ellis. Now Harden to take the lead. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second. Well, if you love great competition and neck-to-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number 1. Getting going right now. Tip-off goes to Houston, and no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Indiana, Brooks in at point guard. LeVoy Allen out there with Paul George. So Houston wins it. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra.